What's going on? For those that don't know me, I'm Jamie Rochelle. Just finished up my third year playing at Georgia Tech. I'm currently a student athlete, student now, and that's kind of what I want to get into this video. Kind of just talking about my decision on why I'm done playing football after 3 years and everything. As there's a lot into it. I'm actually like the bowl game's going on today actually, and here I am at home in Georgia, so kind of explain my decisions there and everything. But the main goal of this video is really just to inform the outside, because as I've been home and I'm getting to these conversations, I'm really just realizing, just the lack of information given to the outside media, and like how the whole transfer portal thing is kind of confusing. Everybody's wondering why players are leaving. Everybody has their own opinions on it, and I'm not here to pick sides or anything. Even though I do think it's gotten a little bit out of hands, but I'm not going to hate on it or anything, because I do want to explain the tons of benefits that many of you guys aren't thinking about, or just kind of getting the extra perspective from somebody who's in it and seeing it. Because when I first got to college 3 years ago, NIL, it was its first year of being a thing, and nobody expected it to be where it's at today. So being somebody who's seen the portal get as crazy as this got, because when I first got here, you had to have that rule where you sat out, but they sat out for a year, but it kind of got rid of that, and transfer portal is definitely real crazy these days. So I'm not gonna waste any time. Let's get straight into it. I think the main thing, if y'all don't take anything else from this video, the main thing that I want to get across is that NIL alone is spectacular. Transfer portal alone is spectacular. But from my opinion and my perspective, where I think we're having these wild things happening and all this stuff coming out, is when we mix the transfer portal and NIL. Just because, it's great that we're finally getting paid, and players are finally getting paid. And I do want to preface by saying I was a preferred walk-on. Y'all can look up my stats. I didn't get in. I'm not really ashamed of it. Now I might get into that later in the video. But yeah, so I'm somebody who, throughout my college time, I probably got about $250 worth of NIL total. And obviously, that's not the case for everybody. That's not the case for my teammates. It's not the case for people potentially going to Georgia Tech. Not the case for just friends that I played high school ball with. I've seen all these crazy, absurd amounts. And, I want to stay out of it as much. I want to stay out of as much controversy as possible. So I won't get into specific numbers. But if you do have somebody in college football right now, especially the ones getting played probably at a bigger school that's winning a lot, not even winning a lot, the up-and-coming program, like Tech is really an up-and-coming program. And I don't want to bash Georgia Tech at all. I made my decision to retire, and I don't want to bet. And Georgia Tech, there's a lot that I learned from Georgia Tech. It was a good experience. I made a lot of memories. I was fortunate enough to go to Dublin. My bad. I was fortunate enough to go to Dublin. I was fortunate enough to go to the bowl games and all that. Tremendous experiences, and the teammates and the people we with, the camaraderie. That stuff is real. Like the guys you're with, you love it. But just getting back to what I was saying. Yeah, just ask the people how much they're getting, or how much these people are getting, because I don't think y'all are aware of how much money is really involved. And that's kind of where the disconnect is happening. That's where everybody's having these problems, because it has become just a money thing. And I want you to put it in our perspective. I'm a 21-year-old, just turned 21-year-old boy, who imagine if I'm getting offered X amount of money to go to this school. And X amount, I won't give any specifics, but I don't want to give any specific examples, but I'm sure I can say, like, people are getting offered $500,000 these days. Like, I'll go ahead and say it. So imagine if I'm a 21-year-old boy and I'm in my current program, and especially if I'm like on the bubble playing, like I'm not really seeing the field as much as I want to. It might be some tensions with the coaches there, because it's a lot. That's what happens a lot when you're dealing with this much money. Tension becomes a real thing, because these coaches are paying you a certain amount a certain amount of money. Like, of course, expectations come with that, and that's why I really wasn't tripping about playing or anything, because like I mentioned, I was a preferred walk-on. I did have a double-digit D1 offers, like from smaller FCS programs, that I chose to walk on here at Tech over. So all this stuff is my decision. That's why I can't be mad at the results or whatever. But just being a walk-on, somebody's not getting paid, somebody who really wasn't recruited. Like, I was in the name of being recruited by my coaches, but not really recruited. Being compared to somebody who's getting such and such amount of money, like, I understand business, nothing else. Like, of course, you're going to have expectations if I'm paying this amount of money for this player. And it's got to the point where if you're not living up to those expectations, you know, it's like, do you really have a future at this school? And that's kind of the sad part. And this isn't tech specifically. You know, this is kind of just what I've accumulated because I have tons of friends. You know, I went to high school. I played high school ball with, and they're leaving their programs. They're leaving their schools, and I'm like, why are you doing that? It's just, it's a different world these days, man. It's a different world these days because it's almost like a mini NFL. Like, there's money attached to it. There's contracts attached to it. And it's like this time of year, you know, pre-bowl game and definitely post-bowl game is when you're really going to see it incline. And that was one of the reasons I decided to quit or retire, just because, like I said, it was my 21st birthday Friday. You know, I'm here for Christmas. I wanted to spend time with my family and everything. That was the main reason. But, like, on another side note, it's just like the toxicity of just, and I don't want to say toxicity because, like, it's not really a program thing, but it's just a lot of tension going on. Because, you know, it's a lot of people who don't know where their next school is going to be. They don't know if they're going to be on the team, and you're having people who have already hit the portal. You already have, like, rumors of players coming in and stuff. So you're like, you have rumors of players coming in at a certain position. You're thinking, what are they going to do with this guy at this position? Is he's going to stay or whatever? Because, like, this is my third year here at Tech. And, like, the class I came in with, I graduated in 2022. The class that I came in with is completely different. Like, I tell people all the time, like, my friends that I literally roomed with at my freshman year, you know, the ones I hung out with, the ones I really talked to, they're not here. And fortunately enough for me, like, I kept up with them. It's a lot of guys. Hopefully y'all are watching this. You know it's 4L. But it's just like, imagine you come in with your class of 30, 40 kids, or not that much, like 20 kids. And here it is 3 years later, it's only 4 or 5 of y'all. Like, that's the real reality of what's going on right now. And to the point I was saying earlier is, like, how could you blame, like, please don't blame the kids or anything for this, or, like, us, because if I'm getting such and such, and I know I already, like, reiterated this, but just really put yourself in the shoes of somebody who's at a certain school, maybe getting this amount of money, and somebody says, yeah, I can give you 5 times more money and you'll be the star player. Like, who is really saying no? Like, everybody wants these kids to be more loyal and everything, but at the end of the day, like, you know, we still have to be logical. Like, this is still life-changing money we're talking about. And that's the one thing I realized, that, like, fortunately enough, I was blessed in a position where I'm not as reliant on the money. But, like, there are some people who come to these colleges. Like, y'all got to remember, these kids come to these colleges, and their income, especially these days with the portal, their income is by far the most in their household, and the most that their household has ever seen. And so, like, this is money that can change their family's life. That can change their siblings' lives. You know, we have some people who are, like, the legal guardians of their siblings. So this NIL money that they get is life-changing. That's why I was saying, like, NIL itself, it has been great. It's been spectacular. Like, I know, and I have a few friends, and I'm at Georgia Tech, where we have, like, a culture, you know, to be more educated and everything. That's kind of, like, what's the thing. And I know some people who have just really taken care of their money. Like, it's going to open up opportunities, like, for real estate. Some are going to get into part-time ownership. Some might even start their own company. Like, shout out to Ed Carey. He's our running back. He's a phenomenal entrepreneur, and just his whole realm and everything. And, like, the NIL is doing real good thing. But like I said earlier, just mixed with the transfer portal is when it gets out of hand, because it's like, what is the point of even trying to, like, get, like, the original 30? I wasn't alive, but I just assumed 30 years ago, the original goal truly of football was to, you know, get together, recruit, stay throughout 4 or 5 years, and really build that camaraderie with your team to where you guys go and win a championship. I think that whole thing is just taken out of it just because of the whole money aspect thing. And that's what Nick Saban was saying when he retired, is because, like, people were coming up to him not asking, like, how can I get to the NFL? How can I get a degree? You know, they're asking how much money it is. And that's, unfortunately, truly the world that we've just come to to where it's a game for money. It really is. And but the thing is, I'm hopeful. I'm hopeful for the future. You know, NCAA. I'm thinking they're trying to work on some things, and like the whole the roster limit thing was one of their like potential solutions for this, which, you know, I hope works. But essentially, they're cutting down. So right now, you're allowed 85 scholarship players, and I think like 35 walk-ons. And but what teams were doing with the whole NIL thing is like it's loopholes. Like you're paying these NIL players, or you're playing these walk-ons in NIL, so like they're essentially on scholarship too. So I believe that's the whole reason behind the roster limit thing, where they cut the limit from down. Because like I said, 85 plus 35, that's 120. They cut it down to 105 total, and you can just have all scholarship players. Like you're not you don't have to have any walk-ons. And you know, some schools I believe still will have walk-ons. I'm sure Tech will, but yeah, that's one of the solutions. So hopefully they can just keep brainstorming ways to help out with this whole thing and try to make it correct. Because, you know, I do want to see college football get back to the state where it was at. And I can't sit here and lie and say that I'm proud of the current state it's in right now. But yeah, I'm hopeful for the future. So maybe y'all can put some ideas that y'all have in the comment section. Ask me some more questions. I don't know if this will be the first video I post, but this isn't the type of commentary I really want to get into. But, you know, with me starting on YouTube and me having an experience that a lot of people didn't get a chance to experience, I wish they did, you know, of course I want to at least come and talk about from my perspective what I've seen and everything. So comment any questions you have, and I might get back to them. I'll definitely respond to them in the comment section, but I might make another video, who knows. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. Hopefully this one was informative. Hopefully you guys learned some stuff. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later.